Hi. So last class we worked on our thumbnail drawings and you watched the demo showing how to fold your paper to divide it into 4 sections and put one idea in each box. So today we are going to start drawing our final design. So the first thing we have to do is pick a idea to use for our final composition. I am going to choose the idea in the top right corner, the My Thinking Cap idea, because I like how the bodies overlap and they create an interesting composition, and the wording adds some variety in the top, and I can use color to emphasize the hats to communicate the idea I'm trying to show. So this is the idea I'm going to choose. And to begin your final drawing, you want to first start with a pencil, and you want to lightly sketch out your main shapes. So you can see I lightly drew and blocked in the words at the top of the page, and I put in the 3 bodies and the words at the bottom. And I drew really light at first, so that if I made any mistakes and I wanted to erase, then it wouldn't leave a permanent mark on my paper that would ruin the final drawing. This is the same idea if you choose to do digital art. You'll want to start with blocking out the shapes of your design and then going back in and adding details in a digital medium. So next, you can see I already started adding a little bit of detail in the hats and the people. So you're going to want to go back in after you block out all the shapes and start making your lines a little bit darker, adding some of those little details in, like I started putting some lines in the rim of the hat and putting the details in the hair. And if you, like for example, I have to put the folds in the do-rag because it's a cloth. And you can put all that in with your pencil. So once you've blocked in all of your shapes and added in some detail, you can really go back in and refine your drawing and start finishing up what your final design will look like, darkening your lines a little bit, and putting in those last touches. So, once I've refined my entire drawing, then I can start adding color. Now, this really depends on which medium you choose. Remember, the medium is the material you're going to use to create the project, such as digital or Photoshop and Adobe Spark. Those are examples of digital mediums. And my medium for this piece was paper, and I used the watercolor to add the color in after. So now that I've added watercolor and I used marker or Sharpies to fill in the words, I'm going to go back in and add some more detail using colored pencils. So I can use the colored pencils to add more detail in the hats to really emphasize that I'm trying to communicate that students can still learn with hats on, so I can add a lot more detail to make the overall image a lot more interesting. So I'm going to shade over the color I put in with the watercolor paint. So you can see the change in value. So I went from dark to light in the hat. And I can even put some more detail in the hair and use the orange to put a couple of highlights in. And I can go back into the other hats and put even more detail to really emphasize that the hats are the focal point, or what I want people to look at in the image. All right, so go ahead and start your final drawings, and happy creating!